Hey everyone, it is me, and I am here to talk about something that hits really close to home for me. It is my own journey, my own failures, and the tough lessons I learned about money and investing. When I was younger, in my early 20s, I really thought I had it all figured out. I was looking for ways to get rich quick. I saw friends, or at least people I thought were friends, making what seemed like easy money. This was back when I had absolutely no idea how investing actually worked. My family, they were pretty average, nothing fancy, so I did not have a lot of guidance on smart money moves. All I knew was that I wanted to make a lot of money, and I wanted to make it fast. I got sucked in by all the hype, the kind of stuff I am talking about. Those amazing promises of high returns, the chance to double your money in no time. It was everywhere, especially online. I did not question it, not really. I just saw the shiny numbers and thought, this is it. This is my ticket to financial freedom. I was naive, and I will be the first to admit it. I jumped into things without understanding the basic rules, without knowing anything about risk. I was chasing hot stuff and listening to every single piece of gossip I heard from people who probably knew even less than I did. It was a disaster waiting to happen, and it did. My biggest mistake was short-term speculation. I would buy something because it was going up fast, thinking it would keep going up forever. Then, when it started to drop, I would panic and sell, usually at a loss. This happened over and over again. I was always chasing the highs and selling the lows. It is a classic beginner's mistake, but I made it countless times. Each time, I told myself I had learned my lesson, but the allure of quick money was too strong. I was constantly glued to my phone, checking prices, stressing out over every little fluctuation. My life revolved around these investments, and my mood would swing wildly with the market. It was not healthy, and it was definitely not profitable. Then there were the scams. Oh, the scams. I fell for a few of those too. Someone would present an opportunity that sounded too good to be true, and guess what? It always was. They would promise guaranteed returns, no risk, just pure profit. I remember one time, I put a significant chunk of my savings into something I was told was a revolutionary new technology. It seemed so legitimate. They had fancy presentations, professional-looking websites. I did not do my due diligence. I did not ask the right questions. I just handed over my money, dreaming of the huge profits I was going to make. Of course, the money disappeared, and so did the people behind the scam. It was a harsh wake-up call, but it was not the last one. Another major problem was my lack of risk management. I would go all in, putting all my eggs in one basket, sometimes even borrowing money to invest. I thought I was being bold, being a risk taker, like the successful investors I read about. But I was not being smart, I was being reckless. I did not diversify. I did not have an emergency fund. I did not understand that investing is about managing risk, not ignoring it. I was so focused on the potential upside that I completely overlooked the potential downside. When the market turned, or when one of my speculative bets went sour, I had nothing to fall back on. My savings, the money I had worked so hard to earn, just vanished. It was incredibly painful, a truly humbling experience. And then there was emotional trading. This was probably the worst habit of all. Every time I saw a stock rise, I would feel a rush of excitement and fear of missing out. I would jump in, often at the top. Every time I saw a stock fall, I would feel panic and anxiety. I would sell. Often at the bottom, my decisions were driven by my feelings, not by logic or a sound strategy. I was letting my emotions control my money, and that is a recipe for disaster in the investment world. I learned the hard way that the market does not care about your feelings. It just does what it does. And if you let your feelings guide your investments, you are going to lose money. These experiences, these huge losses, they accumulated. I lost a significant amount of the money I had saved up from years of hard work. It felt like I had thrown away all my efforts, all my sacrifices. It was a very dark period for me. I felt stupid, I felt regret, and I felt a lot of shame. But eventually, after all the pain, I realized something important. I needed to change. I needed to stop chasing dreams of overnight riches and start learning how money actually works. I decided to completely abandon the get rich quick mentality. It was not easy. It required a complete shift in my mindset. I started reading books, watching and following reputable financial advisors. I learned about proper financial planning, about diversification, about long-term investing. I discovered the power of compound interest and the importance of consistent, steady growth. I began to understand that investing is not about getting lucky, it is about strategy, discipline, and patience. I learned that true wealth is built slowly over time, with a focus on protecting your capital and managing risk. It was a complete overhaul of my financial philosophy. Now, I am in a completely different place. I no longer make aggressive high-risk investments. My focus is on stable savings and low-risk assets. I prioritize building a strong financial foundation, an emergency fund, and a diversified portfolio that aligns with my long-term goals. I am no longer obsessed with market fluctuations. I understand that the market will have its ups and downs, and that is a normal part of the cycle. I do not let my emotions dictate my decisions anymore. I have a plan, and I stick to it. It has given me a sense of peace and control over my finances that I never had before. My journey has taught me invaluable lessons, and that is why I am here sharing my story with you. I want to help other young people avoid the painful mistakes I made. If you are in your 20s or early 30s, just starting out with your finances, please learn from my experiences. Do not fall for the hype. Do not chase quick money. Do not let your emotions drive your investment decisions. Take the time to educate yourself, understand the basics, and build a solid foundation. It is not glamorous. It is not exciting, but it is the path to true financial security. Here are a few things I really want you to take away from my story. First, always do your own research. Do not blindly follow advice from social media, from friends, or from anyone who promises you easy money. Understand what you are investing in, why you are investing in it, and what the risks are. If you do not understand it, do not invest in it. It is that simple. Second, understand and manage risk. This is crucial. Never put all your money into one investment. Diversify your portfolio across different asset classes. Only invest what you can afford to lose. Have an emergency fund in place before you start investing. These are not just suggestions. They are fundamental principles of smart investing. Third, reject the get-rich-quick mindset. True wealth is built over time through consistent effort and smart decisions. There are no shortcuts. Anyone who tells you otherwise is probably trying to scam you or sell you something that is not in your best interest. Be patient, be disciplined, and focus on the long-term. Fourth, control your emotions. The market will go up and down. That is just how it works. Do not let fear or greed dictate your decisions. Stick to your plan and do not panic during market downturns. In fact, market downturns can often present great buying opportunities if you have a solid long-term strategy. Fifth, continuously educate yourself. The world of finance is always evolving. Stay informed, keep learning, and adapt your strategies as needed. But always stick to the fundamental principles of sound investing. There is always more to learn, and the more you know, the better equipped you will be to make smart financial decisions. Finally, think about your financial goals. What do you want your money to do for you? Do you want to buy a house? Save for retirement? Start a business? Having clear goals will help you create a disciplined investment plan and keep you motivated. Do not just invest for the sake of investing, invest with purpose. I know it can be overwhelming when you are just starting out. There is so much information out there, and it can be hard to know who to trust. That is why I am sharing my raw, honest experiences. I have been there, I have made the mistakes, and I have learned the hard way. My hope is that my story can serve as a warning, a reminder to be cautious, to be smart, and to always prioritize long-term financial health over short-term gains. It is okay to make mistakes, as long as you learn from them. The key is to avoid making the same mistakes over and over again. And for financial mistakes, the cost can be very high. So take it from me, someone who has walked this difficult path. Be smart with your money, be patient, and always prioritize protecting your capital. This is not about being a financial guru. It is about building a secure future for yourself. And that, my friends, is a goal worth striving for. I am not here to tell you what specific stocks to buy or where to invest your money. My aim is to equip you with the mindset and the foundational knowledge to navigate the financial world safely. It is about understanding the basic principles so you can make informed decisions that are right for your unique situation. Remember, every single person's financial journey is different. What worked for someone else might not work for you, and what I did wrong, you can avoid entirely. The goal is not to be perfect. It is to be smart and resilient, to build a financial life that supports your dreams and gives you peace of mind. It is a long game, not a sprint. And the sooner you start playing it smart, the better off you will be. Thanks for listening to my story, and I hope it helps you on your own financial journey.